So for those of you who don't know, I have been doing Orcas for a little while now. I have two successful orders, one actually going overseas to Finland, and the other one going, God, I can't even remember. I think that was one of those states over there in the like northeast or northwest, one of the two. Either way, sorry, spent too long on that. Got in the backseat doing really games. Just letting you know a little bit of an Orca update. I have been working on something new. Um, I just did my video about my prophecy deck, and I actually negotiated in my head would it be better to show the orcas or the actual physical cards, and I went ahead with the physical cards because they had the physical effects on the cards instead of this fancy little oracle layout. I've always done exclusively anime only style look just because it's simple, they're easy to make, and I really haven't made a tutorial video yet, but basically involves knowing some regular use of Photoshop and knowing a local printer that'll deal with you. But I was going to say that this layout is really cool for nostalgia factors. People really kind of like the whole look of them, big artwork on the card, the level stars, the attribute, the defense and attack being all that's really shown, and everything else is word of mouth. But I actually print the decks, and sometimes people get aggravated because they don't have the effect on the card. I remember I dropped World of Prophecy before the latest set came out, before Judgment of Light came out, and the guy sat there and mouthed off to me saying it's real easy to play a card if nobody knows what it does except you. And even though his friend looked and confirmed exactly what I said was the effect, he didn't buy it, and he basically pulled up flipping the table and wanted to walk out of the room. So I'm trying something new. What I'm trying is a new format. I have seen this before. I'm not sure if it's like an official thing, but I did make this format from scratch. I did take an idea from someone, but I enhanced it and made it my own. And the new version looks like this. Um, as you can see, unlike the former version, the new version includes the full effect, as well as its attribute, its typing, the attack, the defense, the level stars, the full name, everything, and the effect text as pertains to Yu wikis and anything else, and the artwork. And it covers the whole card. The only thing I did not include was the actual typing of the card. Like if it's a tuner, I have to find a place to put that, but there's no, like, I didn't really qualify if a card was a tuner. So like this right here just says that Spellcaster has the white frame, which the white frame implies it's a Synchro monster. As you can see, we got a Black Rose here in the old format, and then the new format and how it looks. Full artwork, the full effect on the card. It's typing, attack, defense stats, level stars up here. Kind of looks solid. It's got this translucent effect so you can see the full artwork. I think that the style looks exceptional. I actually really like this because it's not real cards. I know everybody might complain if I play with them, but point is all the effects are there, so nobody can really complain. Sometimes characters like heads get chopped off a little bit, but that's the point of transparency. It's more of a I have something that looks different than your card, but I'm still playing the same game with you. This is how a spell card looks. It has a vacant spot here. This basically means it's a normal spell. If that's filled, it's another type of spell, whether it's equip, continuous, something like that. But like it gives all the cards like this really dramatic feel, like all the cards have this really big presence on them. The card looks really sweet whenever you're holding it, and I plan on having some things printed up eventually for these, but like stuff like Explosive Magician just looks awesome. Like you don't realize how cool artwork looks until you get that full, pretty effect. Like for instance, this is a quick play spell, so it has the quick play symbol here and the spell symbol here, and then the full effects are listed here. That way nobody can really complain or say that I'm cheating whenever I play with a proxy deck. It may take a little bit longer to make, but overall the cards look really cool this way. I prefer them. If people don't, then they don't. But I will say that you'll be able to order from now on in both formats. Really, I've only made my prophecy deck out of this. This isn't the actual prophecy deck. I'm just showing examples of the two different styles of cards so that people can get, you know, their options are open. Now, I will admit, just like in regular Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the effect text will be small. It will be hard to read. So, but it'll be on the card, and that's what's more important, you know, to some players is actually having something legible they can read. Like Decree just looks sweet like this. It's just like, no, you can't do this. And I have played with some of my Orcas, and people say, you know, they'd play an MST that looked like the anime, or an MST that took up the whole card. I mean, cards like Darkhold just look fantastic in this format. You know, something that may not be ever something that Yu-Gi-Oh ever does. Yu-Gi-Oh is never going to change their format, like how they lay out their cards. I mean, yeah, they did last year with the whole, oh look, the picture's a little bigger and the stars look smushed, but that's not the same as, you know, a complete physical overhaul. You know, giving every single card full art would just be insane. How could Konami ever do something like that? But the point here is that these cards look fantastic this way, and which one would you prefer? I mean, I'd like to know your comments, your suggestions. You know, is this something that I need to be pushing, you know, to have these full effects on the cards? Because I don't want to make something that looks like the real deal. Because if I make something that looks like the legitimate real card, then, you know, that's borderline, you know, copyright infringement and all that other stuff. And I don't want to get into that. I mean, yeah, I am making proxies of the number one selling game in the world right now, but at least I know they're proxies. I don't want to make something that could be passed as a counterfeit card, and so that's why I like this new style. I think that it, you know, gives the game a different type of look, but you know, people would see it and say, "What are you playing?" And you say, "Oh, this is Yu-Gi-Oh now." You know, like would, and that's another question I want to ask. Would you guys want Konami to do some type of overhaul if they ever had the chance, if it ever became something that they could do? Would you want Konami to make cards look different than the regular format layout than they actually are? Because part of the reason why I think people pick up Orcas is because they look so different. I mean, Hermit looks like a boss here. Look at this guy. He's just the same pose, same everything, but when he's full art, you're like, wow, that guy's important. Nobody plays the card except me. So, you know, just an idea. Plus, with the whole full art scheme, I can also not have to interpret the regular character's art, and I can use fan art, for instance. I think I did it with High Priestess for a few of these, but I won't show those for the sake of the video. Most people would understand why. Point is, like I said, you know, on spell and trap cards, specialty symbols are listed here, you know, spell and trap listed here, and the color of the card changes based on what type it is. Rituals are blue, synchros are white. You know, I might do one with Slifer where he's red, you know, just for the lulz. But anyway, tell me what you guys think, and Doom Brother Games signing out. Later, guys. Bye.